The average American family of four throws away approximately $1,500 worth of food every year. Not eats, throws away, directly into the garbage. The average new car payment reached $772 monthly in Q4 2025, according to Edmunds. Over 20% of new car buyers now commit to payments exceeding $1,000 per month. Americans collectively owe $1.655 trillion in auto loan debt. The average coffee shop visitor spends $6 to $8 per drink. Someone buying one specialty coffee every workday spends approximately $1,500 to $2,000 annually on a beverage that costs 25 to 50 cents to make at home. These numbers represent the gap between how most people handle money and how people who actually build wealth handle money. The difference isn't dramatic lifestyle changes. The difference is a collection of boring, unsexy, unglamorous habits that compound over time into serious financial results. Nobody wants to hear this. Scroll through social media and you'll find endless content about side hustles, crypto plays, and get-rich-quick schemes. The boring stuff doesn't generate clicks. The boring stuff doesn't look good on Instagram, but the boring stuff works. This video covers 10 habits that are genuinely unsexy, yet genuinely effective. None of them are exciting. None of them will make you the most interesting person at a dinner party. All of them will make you wealthier if you actually implement them consistently. The more boring your money management feels, the better you're probably doing. Habit 1. Drive an older car far longer than feels comfortable. The average monthly payment on a new vehicle is $772, according to Edmunds data from late 2025. That's $9,264 annually, before insurance, maintenance, gas, and registration. According to Kelley Blue Book, new cars lose approximately 20% of their value the moment they leave the dealership lot. By the end of year one, depreciation typically reaches 25 to 30%. A $48,000 vehicle becomes worth $33,000 to $36,000 in 12 months. You've lost more than many Americans save in an entire year. The financially optimal approach looks nothing like what car commercials suggest. A 5-year-old Toyota Camry or Honda Accord costs $15,000 to $20,000. It has already absorbed the steepest depreciation. It doesn't need major repairs for years. Modern vehicles reliably run 150,000 to 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Drive that car for 3 or 4 years. Sell it before major repairs become likely. The depreciation during your ownership period is minimal. You can often sell for close to what you paid. This creates a recycling effect. One pool of money keeps moving from vehicle to vehicle instead of evaporating into depreciation losses and interest payments. Research on millionaire behavior consistently confirms this pattern. According to Ramsey Solutions' survey of over 10,000 millionaires, the median price they pay for a vehicle is $31,367. The top 3 cars driven by millionaires are Toyotas, Hondas, and Fords, not luxury brands. Reliable, practical, unglamorous transportation. The math is uncomfortable but undeniable. Someone making $772 monthly car payments who instead drives a paid-off older car and invests that $772 monthly at 8% returns accumulates approximately $170,000 over 15 years for the privilege of having a newer vehicle. Transportation gets you from point A to point B. The journey in a $4,000 Honda Civic arrives at the same destination as the journey in a $50,000 luxury SUV. One person reaches that destination building wealth, the other reaches it destroying it. This habit is embarrassing when friends have nice cars. It requires swallowing ego and ignoring what neighbors think. But the financial impact is among the largest on this entire list. Habit 2. Eat the same meals on rotation. This sounds unhinged to people who treat meals as entertainment. It sounds obvious to people who've studied how frugal households actually operate. Having 4 or 5 staple meals that you rotate weekly accomplishes multiple objectives simultaneously. Grocery bills become predictable. When you buy the same ingredients repeatedly, you know exactly what things cost. There are no surprises. Budgeting becomes straightforward because the number stays consistent week after week. Food waste plummets. The average American throws away approximately 325 pounds of food annually, according to RTS research. That waste represents hundreds of dollars literally going into garbage bags. When you cook the same meals repeatedly, you know exactly how much of each ingredient gets used. Nothing sits in the refrigerator until it spoils. Time spent on meal planning disappears. The mental energy of constantly deciding what to eat vanishes entirely. You already know the answer. Dinner is whatever's next in the rotation. Cooking skills improve dramatically for those specific meals. You become genuinely good at making your staple dishes because you've made them dozens of times. The objection is always the same. Won't this get boring? Surprisingly, no. Rotating through 5 meals means you eat each one approximately once per week. You can modify sauces and seasonings for variety. You can adjust the rotation seasonally. The structure provides freedom rather than constraint. Households that adopt this approach consistently report spending 30 to 40% less on groceries than households that wing it week by week. Hat 3. Eat everything you buy before buying more. This extends the previous habit, but deserves its own attention. Before your next grocery trip, empty the refrigerator, empty the freezer, empty the pantry. Use what you have instead of accumulating more. According to USDA data, Americans waste 30 to 40% of their food supply. That translates to approximately $1,500 per year for a family of 4, thrown directly into landfills. Food waste is the #1 material in American landfills, accounting for over 24% of municipal solid waste. The habit of cleaning out before restocking forces consciousness about what you actually consume versus what you optimistically purchase. Everyone has experienced buying produce with good intentions and watching it rot in the crisper drawer. Everyone has thrown away leftovers that sat too long. Everyone has discovered mystery containers in the back of the freezer. These small losses compound into significant annual waste. A practical approach: designate 1 week per month as a use what you have week. No grocery shopping. Make meals from whatever remains. Get creative with combinations. Only after exhausting existing inventory do you restock. This single habit can reduce household food spending by 15 to 25% while simultaneously reducing the guilt of watching food spoil. The less food you waste, the less money you waste. Habit 4. Make coffee and drinks at home. According to Empower's research, Americans spend approximately $44.50 monthly on coffee shop purchases as of 2025. Gen Z spends even more, around $51 monthly. A specialty coffee drink at Starbucks costs $6 to $8. Someone buying 1 daily weekday coffee spends roughly $1,500 to $2,000 annually on coffee alone. Coffee brewed at home costs 25 to 50 cents per cup using quality beans. Even purchasing premium specialty beans keeps the cost under $1 per cup. The arithmetic is straightforward. Daily Starbucks habit, approximately $2,000 annually. Daily homebrewed coffee, approximately $150 to $350 annually. The difference? $1,650 to $1,850 per year. Invested at 8% returns over 30 years, that $1,800 annual difference becomes approximately $220,000, $250,000 for making your own coffee. This isn't about deprivation. A quality home espresso setup or pour-over station can produce coffee equal to or better than coffee shops. The ritual of making your own drink can become enjoyable rather than burdensome. The principle extends beyond coffee. Every daily small purchase, energy drinks, bottled water, convenience store snacks, compounds over time. The $27.40 rule illustrates this clearly. Spending just $27.40 daily on small purchases equals $10,000 annually. $10,000 per year on things you could have made, brought from home, or simply skipped. Save the coffee shop visits for social occasions, where the experience itself has value. Make the daily consumption at home, where the only purpose is caffeine delivery. Habit 5. Bring your own food everywhere. Lunch out costs $12 to $18 in most markets. A meal prepped at home costs $3 to $5 for similar nutritional value. Someone buying lunch at work 5 days weekly spends approximately $3,000 to $4,500 annually on midday meals. Someone bringing lunch from home spends approximately $750 to $1,300. The savings approach $2,000 to $3,000 per year just from workday lunches. This principle extends to travel. Airport food carries absurd markups. Restaurant meals at tourist destinations cost 30 to 50% more than equivalent meals at home. Vacation spending on food can easily reach $100 to $200 daily for a family. The alternative? Visit a grocery store upon arrival at any destination. Stock up on breakfast items, snacks, and simple meal ingredients. Eat out once or twice for the experience, but don't default to restaurants for every meal. A week-long vacation might involve $500 in restaurant spending. The same vacation with grocery shopping and selective dining out might cost $150 to $200 in food. The difference funds another vacation. This habit is admittedly unsexy. Nobody posts Instagram stories about packing sandwiches for the airplane. Nobody brags about eating grocery store rotisserie chicken in the hotel room. But the people who do these things consistently are the same people who travel more frequently because their trips cost less. Habit 6. Shop in person rather than online. Online shopping has made spending money effortless. A few taps and purchases arrive at your door. No friction, no delay between impulse and transaction. That frictionless experience is precisely the problem. According to research on consumer behavior, online shoppers spend 15 to 30% more than in-store shoppers on equivalent purchases. The algorithms are designed to maximize spending. Recommended products, one-click ordering, saved payment information. Every obstacle between you and your money has been systematically removed. Shopping in person reintroduces friction. You have to drive somewhere. You have to walk through aisles. You have to physically carry items. You have to wait in a checkout line. Each step creates opportunity for reconsideration. Do I really need this? Is this worth the effort? The inconvenience serves as a natural filter against impulse purchases. A practical reset. For 1 month, delete shopping apps from your phone. Remove saved payment information from websites. Make a rule that non-essential purchases must be made in person. The barrier of leaving your house prevents most impulse buying. The items you actually need will still be worth the trip. The items you merely wanted in a momentary impulse won't survive the friction. After the reset month, you'll have broken patterns of mindless online purchasing that were quietly draining your bank account. Habit 7. Pick a wardrobe and stop buying clothes. The average American spends approximately $1,800 annually on clothing, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data. Much of that clothing gets worn a handful of times before being donated, discarded, or forgotten in closets. Fast fashion has created an expectation of constant wardrobe rotation. New trends emerge monthly. Social media showcases endless outfit variations. The pressure to never repeat outfits has become culturally embedded. This pressure is expensive and completely unnecessary. The alternative? Build a capsule wardrobe of quality basics that work together. Pick a consistent style. Buy pieces that fit well and will last years. Then, stop buying. This approach means wearing the same things repeatedly. It means being an outfit repeater. It means looking essentially the same most days. The benefits are substantial. No more decision fatigue about what to wear. No more time spent browsing clothing websites. No more closets overflowing with items you forgot you owned. No more waste from garments worn once. The cost per wear calculation matters more than the purchase price. A $300 sweater worn 100 times costs $3 per wear. A $30 sweater worn twice costs $15 per wear. Quality items worn repeatedly are cheaper than cheap items discarded quickly. Research on millionaire behavior shows they don't constantly update wardrobes. They find what works and stick with it. The time and money not spent on clothes gets redirected toward wealth-building activities. Habit 8. Treat yourself like a bill and pay yourself first. Most people handle money in a predictable sequence. Paycheck arrives, bills get paid, spending happens. Whatever remains, if anything remains, goes to savings. This sequence guarantees savings will be minimal. Spending naturally expands to fill available money. When savings come last, savings get squeezed out. The inversion. Treat your savings and investment contributions as bills that must be paid first. When the paycheck arrives, automatic transfers immediately move money to retirement accounts, emergency funds, and investment accounts. These transfers happen before anything else, before rent, before utilities, before discretionary spending. What remains after paying yourself is what's available for everything else. Your lifestyle adapts to this smaller number rather than expanding to consume the larger one. Over 1 million American workers have accumulated more than $2 billion through state auto IRA programs using exactly this mechanism. Automatic payroll deductions remove the money before workers saw it. The savings happen by default rather than requiring willpower. The psychology is simple. You can't spend money you never see. Establish automatic transfers for the first day after each paycheck. Fund retirement accounts, emergency reserves, and investment accounts before your checking balance even registers the deposit. Make saving the default rather than the afterthought. This single structural change, moving savings from last priority to first, separates people who accumulate wealth from people who perpetually wonder where their money went. Habit 9. Live 2 years behind your income. When income increases, through raises, promotions, or new positions, the natural tendency is immediate lifestyle expansion. More money means nicer apartments, newer cars, better restaurants. This behavior is called lifestyle creep, and it's why high earners often have the same financial stress as lower earners. Their expenses expanded to perfectly match their income at every level. The alternative: pretend you're still earning what you earned 2 years ago. When you receive a raise, don't upgrade anything. Keep the same apartment, keep the same car, keep the same spending patterns. Bank the entire difference between your new income and your old lifestyle. This creates automatic margin. The gap between what you earn and what you spend widens with every income increase rather than staying constant. Goldman Sachs research found that 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 report living paycheck to paycheck. 40% of those earning over $500,000 say the same. These are high earners with no financial cushion because their expenses expanded alongside their income. The 2-year rule prevents this trap. Your lifestyle still improves over time, just on a delay. You still get nicer things eventually, but the lag creates savings that compound for years before being spent. Someone who earns $65,000 and lives on $55,000 has $10,000 annually to invest. When their income rises to $80,000, but their lifestyle stays at $55,000, they have $25,000 annually to invest. The wealth accumulation accelerates dramatically while their quality of life remains stable. Delayed gratification is unsexy. Watching friends upgrade while you maintain is uncomfortable. But the financial position you build through restraint creates options they'll never have. Habit 10. Have a hobby that can make money. This final habit differs from the others. Rather than reducing spending, it focuses on expanding income through something you do anyway. According to research published by Inc., 65% of self-made millionaires have at least 3 income streams. Not 1, not 2, at least 3. For most people, developing additional income streams feels overwhelming. Side businesses require time, energy, and skills many believe they don't have. The reframe. Instead of starting a business, monetize something you already enjoy. If you love fitness, document your journey online. If you're skilled at a craft, sell what you create. If you're knowledgeable about a topic, teach it. If you enjoy writing, freelance. If you're good at your job, consult for others in the same field. The barrier to monetizing interests has never been lower. Platforms exist for selling physical products, digital products, services, content, and expertise. The infrastructure is already built. You just need to participate. This doesn't mean quitting your job or working 80-hour weeks. Even 1 to 5 hours weekly directed toward building something that generates money can produce an extra $100, $500, or $1,000 monthly, depending on the approach. That additional income funnels directly into earlier habits on this list. More emergency fund cushion, larger retirement contributions, faster debt payoff. The compounding accelerates because more fuel enters the system. Having a productive hobby rather than a consumptive hobby also reduces spending. Time spent building something generates money. Time spent on passive entertainment often costs money. The substitution effect works in both directions. The unsexy math of boring wealth building. None of these habits generate excitement. Nobody films TikToks about eating the same meals weekly or driving 15-year-old cars. The content that goes viral involves flashy purchases, dramatic transformations, and get-rich-quick narratives. But the people who actually accumulate wealth, not the people who look wealthy on social media, consistently practice these boring behaviors. According to Ramsey Solutions research on millionaires, 79% are self-made with no inheritance. Only 31% averaged $100,000 or more in annual income throughout their careers. The average millionaire reached that status after 28 years of consistent behavior. 8 out of 10 invested in employer 401k plans. 3 out of 4 also invested outside company plans. Not a single millionaire in the study cited single stock picking as a major factor in their success. The path is consistent saving, consistent investing, and consistent restraint over decades. Nothing flashy, nothing viral, nothing that makes a good Instagram post. The boring math. Driving older cars instead of financing new ones, save $5,000 to $8,000 annually. Eating at home with meal rotation, save $3,000 to $5,000 annually. Making coffee and drinks at home, save $1,500 to $2,000 annually. Bringing food instead of buying out, save $2,000 to $3,000 annually. Reducing impulse purchases through friction, save $2,000 to $4,000 annually. Combined, these habits represent $13,500 to $22,000 in annual savings compared to typical American spending patterns. Invested at 8% returns over 25 years, $15,000 annually becomes approximately $1.2 million. The boring habits produce millionaire outcomes. The exciting spending patterns produce paycheck-to-paycheck stress regardless of income level. The choice isn't between enjoying life and building wealth. The choice is between prioritizing the appearance of success through consumption versus prioritizing actual success through accumulation. One path looks good on social media. The other path creates financial freedom. The average American can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense, according to Bankrate. The average American carries more credit card debt than savings. The average American will work until they physically cannot because they never built anything generating income without their labor. These averages reflect what happens when people follow exciting spending patterns instead of boring saving habits. Unsexy works. Boring builds wealth. The habits that feel like deprivation in year 1 feel like freedom in year 10. Pick the boring path. Your future self will thank you.